go to Audacity. This is where you're going to download the free software and starting your podcast. This is free software, so you can't beat free. So it's not gonna cost you as much to get you set up and running for your podcast. Of course, you will have to pay for your microphone, depending on what kind of quality you choose. But you're going to go to Audacity up here in the top left hand corner, audacitysourceforge.net/download. And when you go here, they're going to give you the options to download Audacity, and it's safe on your computer. You can go to Audacity for Windows, or either you can click Audacity for Mac as well. So it just depends on what internet company you're using, either the Mac or Windows. So this is how you want to get started. And of course, there's YouTube videos to show you how to use Audacity and editing. It's pretty easy. It just takes a little time, just like anything else you have to learn. But you can learn Audacity pretty quick. It shouldn't take you much time. And then you can go from there for podcasting, because this is going to this goes into post-production. So that's why you want to make sure that you use Audacity before you upload any of your podcasts on your selected hosting sites. And we'll get into that as well. Okay, now let's talk about hosting sites. Hosting sites are basically like your blog to WordPress, or like your blog to blogger.com. So you need somewhere to house your podcast. And two of them that I use, which is my preferred choice, is Spreaker.com. And I will also show you the importance of Libsyn.com as well. We will get into that. But first, let's start with Spreaker, and I'll show you the advantages to Spreaker. And of course, you can go to Spreaker.com. And the cool thing about Spreaker is they give you 20 hours for free. So you can't beat that. And one of the other best things I really like about Spreaker is they give you the opportunity to get on iHeartRadio, which has a huge audience. So if you can get your podcast on iHeartRadio, that would definitely benefit you. And let's go to profile. And with our profile, you can go to, once you set up your account, you can go to shows. You have profile, episodes, and shows. And then you see this iHeart Radio icon right there. You click onto that and you can apply for iHeartRadio. Now, let me tell you, the only way iHeartRadio is going to accept you is if you have more than 100 followers on Spreaker, because Spreaker has its own platform. The only downfall about Spreaker is they want you to sign up with them. They have their own audience. It's so if you share Spreaker, your podcast, on say Facebook or Twitter, a lot of times they're going to ask you to sign up an account with Spreaker. So that's the only downfall with them, because they have their own audience. So in order to get on iHeartRadio, you would need more than 100 followers and more than 5,000 plays. And your podcast has to be consistent. If your podcast is older, if you haven't podcasted in 2 weeks, iHeartRadio will not accept your application, because they want to know that you're actually podcasting on a continual basis, and they just don't have all these dead podcasts on their platform. They want you to be active. So that's really the biggest thing with Spreaker, is you get the iHeart option for your podcast, and they give you 20 hours for free. So you can't beat that. And your other platform that you will want to podcast from, your hosting site. Remember, we talked about Spreaker.com. You want to host your podcast there, because you can definitely upload your podcast there, and then you can upload your podcast off Libsyn as well. And I'll show you that process and how uploading your podcast on Spreaker works. But let's talk about Libsyn. You want to go to Libsyn.com. And of course, they have different pricing for your podcast. They start off at like $5 a month, and it's basically for storage. I use the $20 package a month because I podcast 6 times a month when we have 2 different podcasts. So that's why I purchased the $20 Libsyn package. And this is your main dashboard. So when you go to Libsyn, you're going to have your dashboard, content, and this is a drop-down menu, destinations, monetization, stats, and Libsyn, they offer awesome stats. I love their stats because I'm a numbers guy. They show you your storage and how much storage you have left, your settings, of course, if you have any questions. So let me just walk you through this process with Libsyn. And of course, they show you your